This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900. News is also brought to you by Desert View Hospital. You can count on us.
Welcome to News 25 here on KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. Today is Monday, August 1st. Well, a person arrested for attempted murder is now facing additional charges for damaging property inside the jail cell after he allegedly attempted to kill a person with a vehicle in Amargosa. The Nye County Sheriff's Office released a video of the incident narrated by Captain David Berukowitz.
On Saturday, July 23rd at approximately 7:30 in the morning, deputies responded to a report of a vehicle versus pedestrian hit and run at the Fort Amargosa gas station in Amargosa. Upon arrival, deputies located a male subject in front of the business with serious injuries and damage to the front of the building. Suspects Brian Santana, age 45, and Kara Gorke, age 33, both of California, were detained at the scene. During the investigation, it was determined that Santana was driving the vehicle and intentionally rammed his vehicle into the victim. After hitting the victim, Santana took off on foot and fled in the immediate area. Gerke took the vehicle and began to chase Santana. Both suspects were believed to be under the influence of methamphetamine at the time of the incident, and preliminarily it appears that Santana struck the vehicle because of a methamphetamine-induced paranoia. The victim was transported to University Medical Center. During a search of the vehicle, methamphetamine was discovered. During the arrest, Gerke tried to interfere with the arrest of Santana. Brian Santana was arrested for attempted murder, DUI drugs with serious bodily injury, possessed methamphetamine greater than 28 grams, and habitual criminal based on 8 prior felony convictions. Kara Gerke was arrested for aiding a felony offender, DUI drugs, possessed methamphetamine greater than 28 grams. There does not appear to be a connection between the suspect and the victim, and there is no known motive for this intentional act.
Well, a home in the West Side neighborhood of Pahrump caught fire on Friday night. Thankfully, no injuries were sustained as a result of this blaze. Fire Chief Scott Lewis gives us the details.
On Friday at around 16:40 hours, crews were dispatched to the address on East Falcon for a possible structure fire. As crews were responding, we were notified that the fire most likely involved an oven. When we arrived on location, we found moderate smoke showing from both the front and rear of the house. During the scene size-up, it was confirmed that we had a working structure fire with fire showing in what appeared to be the kitchen area. Crews were ordered to conduct an offensive interior objective, which means they went directly with the hose lines to the inside of the house through the front door. Crews found a heavy smoke condition, high heat, and fire within the kitchen involving cabinets and the ceiling area. They quickly knocked down that fire with no extension. They checked the remainder of the house and found that all occupants were in fact accounted for and uninjured at the front of the house. There were no injuries to firefighters. The fire is thought to be unintentional in nature, but remains under investigation. The damage sustained through the fire made it uninhabitable. The house was unoccupied at the time that the fire ignited and may until the return of the residents approximately 2.5 hours later. There were no animals at the time that the firefighters were operating.
And thank you to Eddie O'Brien for that footage. Well, a person who sustained a burn injury required medical transport to the local hospital. Police and medics were dispatched to a home Sunday afternoon on Kismet Street for a report of a structure fire. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, along with Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies, were dispatched to a trailer that was on fire on Kismet over the weekend. On Sunday afternoon, fire crews were dispatched for a resident who was injured as a result of this blaze. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue ambulance transported one male who was said to have an extremity that sustained a burn. He was transported to Desert View Hospital. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue Chief Scott Lewis says that a child attempted to help and got a hold of a torch. That torch burned the adult male. That is when the structure caught fire at the time. There was minimal damage to the actual home. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue is investigating the cause of this fire. There were no other injuries reported as a result. More news on the other side of this break from News 25.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Lisa Spahitz and Mike Plasmeyer at Country Financial Insurance. Auto, home, life, and commercial. 775-727-8920.
Road closures, flooding, and a few electrical outages were the result of much-needed precipitation over the weekend. Valley Electric Association says that they had minimal outages over the weekend as a result of the storm. On Friday night, they did have a power pole that broke in two on Highway 372 and Lola Lane. 1,122 members were out for approximately 3 hours from 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. to replace a power pole.
So on Sunday, at approximately 1:30 in the afternoon, we received a deluge of rain through a variety of different storm cells that were both on the Spring Mountains, Mount Charleston, and with heavy cells on the very south end of the Pahrump Valley. As a result, we had cascading water that sheeted over Spring Mountain Motorsports, out across Highway 160, and continuing down both Gamebird onto Homestead Road and heading southwest throughout the southern part of the valley. As quickly as the waters rose, they started receding. Fire department was called not only for a flood assessment, but also to effect at least 2 rescues from a stranded vehicle in waters that were moving that vehicle. The water was considered swift water, which meant it had a certain amount of velocity that could move heavy objects. We were also notified of a possible motor vehicle accident. While that was unfounded, as waters receded, we found an abandoned vehicle that was blocking a culvert in the area of Fox and Gamebird. And what makes that interesting is that the vehicle had been abandoned and was located closer to Highway 160 on Gamebird on the south side of the roadway, and had been moved by those floodwaters approximately a mile, and then until it became stuck in the culvert and started blocking up some of the debris field that was also moving. While that helped reduce some of the water that was moving further south and west, there was still a significant amount of water that bypassed that culvert, crossed over the roadway, and then, of course, started, those different trajectories through the south end. Crews were involved in other assessments and investigations and just community assistance, including some houses that were in jeopardy down in the area of Money and Heritage. Our crews finally completed the majority of their assignments just after midnight last night. As the water continued to move from the alluvial fan and off the mountains and sheeting across different areas of the valley, that water eventually continued to make its way southwest towards the dry lake bed. And as it did so, that's where it was causing the secondary impacts, such as potential flooding to the dwellings. While there was no water that actually got into the houses, it came right up to the edge and was absolutely flooding some properties.
And thank you to everybody who sent us those pictures and videos. Well, August is Psoriasis Awareness Month. If you have eczema or psoriasis, you probably have been told that spending time out in the sun can be good for your skin. And while that is true, a Cleveland Clinic dermatologist says it's also important to make sure you're not overdoing it.
That's a common question I get. Can I get a little sun and see if that helps? And I think that that's an important thing to think about, especially if you have psoriasis or atopic dermatitis. It's important to keep in mind, though, that the sun increases your risk of skin cancer, especially the most deadly type of skin cancer, melanoma. So you still want to be careful and practice smart sun behaviors.
Dr. Melissa Piliong says if you do plan to spend some time in the sun to help with your skin condition, make sure you're only out there for 5 to 10 minutes at a time. You don't want to get sunburned. She recommends wearing sunscreen on all areas of your body you don't want exposed directly to the sun. And speaking of sunscreen, you should be using one with SPF over 30. that is broad spectrum and water resistant. You could also wear a hat and sun protective clothing. Dr. Piliong says even though the sun can be beneficial, it should not replace other forms of treatment like light therapy and prescription medications.
There are so many treatment options out there beyond just sunlight or the moisturizers you can buy over the counter. The dermatologist can help you get your skin clear and on a treatment that is safe and effective and you can tolerate well.
Unfortunately, there is no known cure for skin conditions like eczema or psoriasis, but Dr. Piliang says light therapy and medication really can make a difference. We'll be back right after this break with your Ask Angie and Save a Pet.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. Also brought to you by Silver State Health. Visit silverstatehealth.org or call 702-471-0420 for an appointment. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back. Are you thinking about bringing a new pet into your home soon? We've got your back. In today's Ask Angie segment, Rachel Zippernick walks us through how to pet-proof our homes.
Pets bring us joy and comfort, but they also come with their own set of challenges. Rachel Zippernick, an interior home expert at Angie, is here to talk to us about how to pet-proof your home for your new furry friend.
When you bring a new pet into your home, you're going to want to think of new storage solutions to make sure that you have space for all of their supplies. That could include a designated area to store all of their toys, or if the pet is a dog, you may want to install a hook by the front door for easy access to a leash. For kibble and treats, consider buying airtight containers. That can keep the food fresher for longer, it'll keep pests at bay, and it will prevent the unwanted smells from your home.
Before you bring a new pet into your home, take a look around and make sure your home is safe. Hide or dispose of anything that may be harmful to pets, like laundry detergent, cords, medications, or toxic plants or foods. Also try to protect breakable items by putting them away in cabinets or in places that will be harder to knock over and break.
You'll also need to pet-proof your outdoor area, whether that's your yard, a patio, or a pool area. If you don't already have a fence, talk to a pro about installing one as soon as possible. If you do have a fence, look for any gaps where your pet could escape from the current fencing area. If you have a pool or a pond, consider covering it, or you may need to supervise your pet when you bring them outside.
No matter what kind of floors you have, you can keep your home clean by coming up with regular cleaning systems that work for you and your pet. Pet hair can be one of the biggest culprits, so consider setting up an automatic vacuum that will clean your floors once a day. You can also add mats near your doors or litter boxes to prevent your pets from tracking dirt or litter around your home.
Just like other members of your family, your pet is going to bring more mess into your home, so start thinking about ways to make it easier to clean and to maintain the home. One way, for example, would be to switch to luxury vinyl flooring. These floors are scratch resistant, they're long lasting, and they're super easy to maintain. If you're looking into a dog or a cat door, think about ways to make it so that pests can't get in as easily. You might look into opaque flaps that keep the light out, or look into different sealing solutions to try to keep the door as airtight as possible.
Do you have questions about your home projects? Tweet them using hashtag AskingAngie. That's hashtag AskingAngie, and you may get some tips in an upcoming segment.
Well, speaking of pets, today Darby has a pair of dogs that have been relinquished to Never Forgotten Animal Society that are looking for a home of their own. Missy and Boo Boo are a sweet duo in an unfortunate situation.
Today's Save a Pet segment is made possible by Realty Executives in Action. Put the team at Realty Executives in action for you.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Never Forgotten Animal Society, and today we are joined with Boo Boo and Missy. I also have a cat that's batting at the top of my head, so please ignore that. Missy and Boo Boo are sisters. They are both Yorkshire Terriers, and they're roughly about 2 years old. They are sweet, sweet little girls. They came in originally because of a really sad situation. Their mom passed away from Alzheimer's, and then their dad started showing some signs as well. But they're hoping to go together into their forever home since they are already paired together. If you want to come and see Missy and Boo Boo, please go and give them a call, 775-537-8674. You can also go onto their website at neverforgottenanimalsociety.org, and they also have a Facebook page, which is Never Forgotten Pahrump.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
All right, taking a look outside, we still got some moisture there in the air. Let's see what's in store and see if we have some more storms coming up in just a few moments.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios on a monsoon Monday. Yeah, we're right in the middle of the sticky, wet, swampy season. A little bit of rain going on. Temperatures are coming down throughout the state. Look at Fernley, 90 degrees, 87 out in Fallon. Carson City saw 83. Tonopah, the cool spot in the state today at 79 degrees, and everything on the weather map south of Tonopah, we're under a flood watch. Look at this. Watch out for rain. Watch out for stuff crossing the roads. 80 degrees out in Goldfield. Beatty at 90, 95 in Amargosa is the hot spot in Las Vegas. You have flash flood warnings, so it could really happen fast out there. Watch it. You're getting some rain today, and high today of 93. Death Valley, down 10 degrees from when I last looked at it on Friday, 105 degrees. It sounds downright pleasant, but here in the Paradise Pahrump, it's 91, 92 just a little bit earlier. Winds out of the south to 10 miles per hour. Felt pretty good with that humidity index at 39%, just to take the edge off a little bit of that dew. The sun rose this morning at 5:50, and it's setting this evening gorgeously at 7:49 under partly cloudy skies. We'll see some excellent colors and a low tonight of 78 degrees as those winds whisper to us gently out of the southeast to 8 miles per hour. That humidity really up there, 47%, sort of belies what's happening tomorrow, which is sunshine. Look at this, one day of sunshine. Woo, I love it. 97 degrees. Looks like temperatures rocket up to triple digits on Wednesday and then calm right down into the 90s and even low 90s by next Monday. Rain throughout the week. Yeah, we got a pretty good chance of it, 15% each and every day. Cloudy skies, which build up until Sunday, Monday. 24% chance of rain. I think we could see some serious moisture, but make your plans and do what you do. We got a couple more weeks of monsoon season. All right, back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
Well, we got two events coming up very soon. One is a job fair. So if you are a job seeker and you want to find out if there's any jobs available in town, well, I can tell you, number one, there is. It's going to be held August 12th at Nye Communities Coalition from 9 a.m. until noon. You can find out more by giving them a call, 775-727-9970. You can even get your resume ready, find out what jobs are available, and also get an application. But you know, they even have some clothing available down there at Nye Communities Coalition, 1020 East Wilson Road. And you want to get down there early enough, be ready and prepared to have an interview on site down there. They will have employers happening down there, just ready to interview employees. And if you are employment or job, you're looking for employees, you can go and give them a call, 727-9970, and get involved in this job fair because they are looking for employment, businesses that are interested in hiring employees. And if you would like to go down there, it is free. You can have a table, you can interview employees down there. If you're looking for qualified employees, they have all sorts of qualified employees down there that you can hire. You can interview that day and hire them that day. Give them a call. Ed Kelly down there would like to hear from you. 775-727-9970. It's all down there at Nye Communities Coalition, 1020 East Wilson once again. And Purple Heart Day is coming up, and that is going to be a wonderful event. We want to tell everybody everybody about that. Of course, that is on August 7th. It is August 7th every day, and that is on Sunday at the Chief Tacoma Cemetery right there on East Street. Inside the Chief Tacoma Cemetery, the Veterans Memorial, from 6 to 7 p.m., 751 East Street. It's going to be happening down there. Everybody is welcome to come on down, and they always recommend that you arrive early. There is a full schedule. It is an hour. I would recommend at least coming at least 15 minutes early. It starts promptly on time and ends promptly on time. It's a wonderful event. Come on down, and you can find out more. Both of those are posted on our KPVM Facebook page. We hope that you had a wonderful evening. We'll see you back here tomorrow night. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.